So we will be exploring then the basic science knowledge that relates to flour, yeast, salt, water, mixing, fermenting, and baking. And we'll explore the practical correlates of that knowledge, what they mean for the baker in the bake shop. And also Andrew especially is going to be talking about how wheat and flour are tested to give some and give some real visual meaning to what we hear about when we hear about the testing. Next slide, please. So it's really important to understand that the goal of wheat is simply to make more wheat. When we talk about a certain blend of wheat, we might say, well, you know, it really doesn't have, the gluten really doesn't have good baking qualities. That's really irrelevant to the wheat. The wheat has a role for gluten. It uses that gluten, as we'll talk about, for the storage of proteins. It's us who want to use it for something else. So the goal of wheat is to make more wheat. The goal of yeast is to make more yeast. The goal of lactobacilli is to make more lactobacilli. And the challenge for the baker then is to take all of these different instruments and create a symphony of what otherwise would be discordant noise.
Okay, so the grain has to get delivered and to a miller. And so to a certain extent, it doesn't really matter whether this miller is a small scale stone miller or a giant miller like ADM or anything like that, because the size of the grain has an impact. So it has an impact on flour yield if you're milling to refined flour, but it also has an impact. For example, pinched grain has more bran compared to endosperm if you're milling whole wheat or whole milled, and will affect your baking performance. So the first test that gets done on the wheat once it's been delivered and cleaned is to look at how plump it is, for example, by looking at the test weight. And the test weight's really simple. It's the weight of the grain per unit volume, but the weight of the grain as it's poured in, and it's not tamped down or shaken or anything like that. So basically all you have to do is, in some sort of reproducible way, pour the grain into a container of known volume and then weigh it. And so you end up in the US system with pounds per bushel, or in the international system with kilograms per hectolitre, which is kilograms per 100 litres. And I guess, I don't know, 100 litres is about 20 gallons. So then the other thing that's really important is the hardness of the grain. And so I work in a sort of a circumstance where we breed both soft wheats for cookies and cakes and pastries and batters and things like that, and bread wheats. And the bread wheats need to be physically hard, and the others need to be physically soft. So we have the machine that you can see some of the details of here, called the single kernel characterization system. And it takes a whole bunch of seeds and it does the mechanical analog of biting them. And so you would be able to actually feel what the machine feels. A hard wheat would be hard to bite. I wouldn't recommend it because you might break a tooth. And soft wheats are physically soft. And there's a genetic background to that in terms of that there's one gene that controls whether they're soft wheats or hard wheats. And this becomes really important later on in the process, because the hard wheats mill with slightly higher starch damage, and there's a whole bunch of interactions with elements of enzymatic activity that we will detail in a little while. And but so these are kind of very, very basic types of tests that we're interested in when we receive wheat. The other things that we do is we can take that wheat and put it into an experimental mill. And so this one on the left of the panel, there is an experimental roller mill. It's very tiny. We'll grind up something in the order of 500 grams, so a little bit over a pound, to get some white flour, bran, and shorts out of that, and we'd be able to do some testing. And we can measure things like the starch damage that goes through the mill. Conversely, we have, and down at the bottom right there, a whole range of different stone mills and hammer mills and things like that, which are also mirrored here at the WSU Bread Lab. And it gives us an ability to start to be able to predict the baking performance of the flour from looking at elements of the characteristics of the wheat. And so Lee is now going to start telling you about some of these flour components and how they're, the life of the flour is very important to the outcome of the bread.